Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into your Arsenal Advisor. YAA Workshop. Not gotten the other channel back yet. Not sure if that's really happening. Sent my request through. So revisiting the M77, which comes with a slant brake, and it's got like all the recoil. It kind of makes an off-axis kind of like impulse into your cheek when you have a good cheek weld. At least that's what mine did. And then so I had a video about that back in the last channel. So I'm just kind of putting a new intro on this one. And you kind of take a look at the footage and think what I did about it. This video today is going to be about the M77. Just recently purchased this, and I did another review video. So I wanted to talk about the slant brake. I mentioned that it comes with a slant brake, and it's sort of it's like a cylinder that's been cut off, and when you screw it in all the way, it sort of angles blast up and to the right. So that can create, I guess what people call the cheek slap. And if you're shooting from a bench, you have a good cheek weld and everything else is pretty firmly held, when that blast goes up and to the right, it kind of makes the stock do one of these things to your face. It's not as violent when you're standing up and shooting offhand, because nothing's as tight as when you're on the bench. So anyway, when I first got it and shot it, like 10 times, kept really getting me in the face, because I had to get cheek weld really low so I could look through the iron sights, and it was all, good grip I had on the rifle, and it was just very powerful. And I thought, that's not very comfortable, so I don't know how long that's gonna be. So I reached out, actually contacted Rob Ski. Many of you probably know from AK Operators Union 4774, and it's, I think, the Vintage Sniper channel. Anyway, so he recommended get a one of these muzzle brakes, and I think this one is BD2 AK, and it stopped all that cheek slap from the muzzle climb and the off-axis kind of blast that was occurring. And I had went to range earlier and took some I guess a couple videos with the slant brake on, and then without it. So I thought it'd be good to have a video where kind of physically see the before and after, and maybe a little bit of a physical illustration of what's going on. Okay, here's the slant brake. So if you're looking at the front of the barrel, it would probably kind of look like this. So anyway, and then it goes on righty loosey, lefty tighty, opposite of righty tighty, lefty loosey. Let's see, and so here's it's very simple. It's just it's pretty symmetrical from one side to the other. Doesn't add too much length to the front of the barrel, and I think it looks pretty decent on there. So enjoy the next two little snippets of video from shooting. I was gonna say I thought it'd be good to have a little bit of physical comedy, but it's physical, but it's not very comedic. But anyway, it's at least you can see what's going on, as opposed to me just describing it. All right, hope you all enjoy the illustration of shooting with the slant brake versus the muzzle brake. So I guess the one tell, I took that one shot with the slant brake, and you could see the my earmuffs like slide up and off my head, and then when I took the second, a couple shots, all the recoil was going straight back, and my earmuffs stayed in place, and it was actually felt a lot more stable. Wasn't a lot of climb or anything. It was just straight back and felt pretty stable. Problem I still have with these AKs is the like where my eyes are in relation to the rear sight. It seems to be too close, and I haven't gotten any of that spray on sight black yet to get rid of the little reflective surfaces. So eventually I'll do that and see if that improves anything. But I'm working on getting a scope to mount on the scope mount I showed on the accessories part of the review video. So we'll see how that is. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and just remember, if you get one of these or any large caliber AK that's got a slant brake, I'm gonna think that you're probably gonna want to get one of these or something like it after that, just to guard against the cheek slap, because those slant brakes probably came out when we had the 7.62 by 39, and it's not as powerful around as 308 Winchester, like this is. So I think that's part of the issue. I'm surprised that Zastava doesn't import it with the like a brake like this, because if you remember from the review videos, watch that, they actually import these with some other muzzle device welded on, and that's what the orange sheet says, and then they take it off, clean up the threads, and then provide you a US made slant brake. Says USA on it. I don't know if you can see that. Actually looks backwards to me when I'm showing it here on the camera. So anyway, and I asked Zastava, like, what did they recommend to help with that blast, and they directed me to one of the other AK part suppliers, and they had some rubber kind of recoil device to stick in the back, and I didn't think that was going to do anything until the just maybe soften the recoil going back this way. But I think there was a little bit of that seesaw effect happening because of the slant brake. So anyway, so that's my recommendation with respect to these, the M77 for sure. And then you might find out with other, like I said, other large caliber AKs. All right, so hopefully you've been able to kind of relook at all the footage, kind of how I worked through it. I had a little example of the initial recoil impulse, and then later on, and seen, kind of was able to indicate what I did about it. You can see that. If you see something different on the front of the muzzle than in the beginning of the video. So just got another 2-chamber brake. It's not a slant brake. It's just, the blast goes out both sides of the muzzle device, and seems to just make it recoil like a regular rifle. All right, thanks for watching.